management system and its benefits. But before jumping into the session, I would like to brief about my journey from my school life to my work. Just a second, let me go to the slide. Yes, it was like 1999. I started my school life near to my hometown, St. John's School, and school life was amazing. I was so lucky that I completed my primary education and secondary education in the same school. I said it's lucky because I got best friends from there. So me and my friends were at the same level when it comes to exam results. That's how we become friends. So I completed my schooling in 2011. After that, I moved to college, Amal Jyoti College. I selected information technology as my stream. Like first year was like lengthy, second year and third year was like flying, and fourth year was also short. I got amazing experience from my college. I completed my college in 2015, and after that, the real life started. Like every fresher, I also joined for certification course. I completed the course in 2015 itself. After that, I joined in Big Frames Technology as a support engineer. I worked there for 1 year, and after that, I moved to Dubai. In Dubai, I joined in New Horizons Technology as a support engineer initially. And after that, about after 1.5 years later, I got promoted to technical specialist. I worked there for 4 years. And after that, I moved to Netherlands. Here, I'm working as a technical lead. This is so far my journey. Now we will go to our main topic, learning management system. What is learning management system? From the term itself, it says it's a system which is used for managing learning. So the definition says learning management system is a software application for administration, documentation, tracking, reporting, automation, and delivery of educational courses, training programs, or learning and development programs. So it's basically a system for anyone, like for a colleges or for a company, to monitor, track, record, and document their learning productivity. So I will go for two types of learning management system. There are varieties of learning management system available in the market, but I'm focusing on few. First is enterprise versus individual. Enterprise is basically a learning solution which is designed for a large scale companies like 500 plus employees, and individual is like basically for an individual or for a 10 to 15 employees related companies. Free versus commercial. Free is like there are dozens of open source platforms available in the market like Moodles, and it's obviously free. You can go access it and you can modify the code based on your requirement. And commercial is specifically designed for companies and for universities or colleges where you get 24/7 support, as well as obviously it's paid service. The next comes SaaS versus license. SaaS is software as a service, is basically a ready-made platform which is available in the market where you can choose the product if the features are, if you like the features. But the limitation for SaaS-based solution is like you cannot add additional feature into it, because it's since it's a service, you cannot add extra feature. If you like the product, you can go and buy. And licensed products are like products like the company can buy the licenses and you can modify or customize based on your requirement. Next comes cloud-based versus on-premise. What is cloud-based? Cloud-based is like the platform which you can which is hosted on the server, and it is available through access credentials, and you can access it from anywhere. Versus on-premise means like the LMS platform which is installed on a local server, and you cannot access it outside the network. Let's say, for example, if I'm taking Amal Jyoti as an example, if you are installing that LMS in your local server, outside Amal Jyothi's network, you won't be able to access it. These are the different varieties of LMSs available in the market. Now, I will introduce few LMS application which I work with. There are thousands of LMS applications available, but I'm just focusing on only very few, like 4. First is Upside LMS. This is a SaaS solution, which is software as a service. It's a very cost-effective LMS platform, which is available in the market, which is mainly used for hosting or running online trainings. It also supports classroom training, virtual training, gamification, and all. But the main purpose of this kind of LMS is to run mandatory trainings like code of conduct or some policy related courses. You can host it. And the limitation for this kind of since it's a SaaS platform, you cannot modify or you cannot add any extra feature into it. The only thing that you can do in this kind of LMS is you can just add a logo of the company or the college, or you can add just the color schemes based on your brandings. That's the only additional feature you can add into it. Then, but other than that, you can do reporting, you can track the employees, you can send emails to the employees, and that all things are possible through this LMS. The other LMS is PeopleFluent. Earlier it was known as Net Dimensions. Now it is known as PeopleFluent LMS. This is amazing LMS in terms of features, but design-wise, it's not that wow. It supports various kind of trainings, like it supports online trainings, it supports classroom-based training, it supports assignments, assessments, exams. I will just tell you one example. Let's say if I joined one company, if they have this PeopleFluent as a platform. So when I log into the system, what I can see is, when I log into the system, I can see a learning path associated with my job profile, let's say a technical lead. So when I log into the system, I can see technical lead at the top of the tree structure, and there will be different branches to it. And each branches has different learning elements, let's say online module, classroom-based module, or it can be assignments, assessments, seminars. You can see different branches. So you will get a clear idea about what you need to learn when you are in the company. So whenever I finish each learning module, let's say if I complete all the learning modules associated with my job profile, it will turn into green color, which means completed. If I complete all the learning elements which is associated with my job profile, then my job profile itself will turn into green color, which means it says completed, and the system will send email to my manager saying that Adarsh has already completed his job profile. So what manager can do is he can assign me another job profile, let's say higher to my designation, like let's say for example manager role. If he assign that role to me, then that will also have different branches. Let's say if I complete even that all learning elements, then even that manager job profile will turn into green, which means maybe I'm eligible for a promotion. This is how the LMS works in big companies and all. Next, success factors. Success factors is a type of LMS which not only support learning, but it also it's basically for maintaining human capital management, like onboarding, recruiting, payroll, then human capital management, like what to say, the salaries and all. So let's say even nowadays the trend is like you don't need to go and sit in front of the company to do the assessments for your interview. First thing that they are doing is when you apply for a job, you will straight get a link where the first step is to clear the first round of interview, which is an aptitude test, or a relevant exam which is related to your job posting. So once you complete that, once you pass that exam, then the HR will get notification saying that this candidate has already passed this round. Then she will assign another exam, which is a second round, which is relevant for her job profile. So once he or she passes the exam, then they will call her for the interview. That is how now companies, that is how the companies treat candidates, because that is very effective, because they don't want to they don't want to keep a long queue for the candidates for attending the interview. This is how it works. And it also supports learning in terms of, you can host mandatory trainings in this platform, you can do trainings, you can track record students, you can track records employees, so on. Now the next is Skillsoft. Skillsoft is a huge content library which has which has a varieties of courses, which is related to business, which is related to technology, which is related to health and safety. So Skillport is a platform which is used for hosting Skillsoft courses. None of the other courses can be hosted in this Skillport. Skillport is only a platform which only supports Skillsoft library courses. That's the only limitation, because you cannot upload or you cannot host any other external courses in this platform. This platform is specifically built for running Skillsoft courses. These are the 4 types of LMS which I wanted to explain it to you. Now we will actually move to virtual versus physical classroom. This is an interesting topic actually. So yes, first I will go with strengths and weaknesses of online training. First I will go with strengths. There are no geographical barriers. Yes, we know that if it's an online training, the only thing that you require is a strong internet connectivity and a user access credentials. You just need to log on to the platform and you can do it wherever you are. There you don't need to go to the classroom, or you don't need to go to a specific location for doing the training. The only thing that you need is the access credentials to the platform and the internet connectivity. Next is flexible timelines. Again, here you can do the training whenever you are free, provided you need to finish the online training before the deadline. I will explain it with an example. When it comes to deadline, I have experienced it. Like, the LMS is configurable in such a way that it can send reminder emails, it can send escalation email based on uh, your attitude towards the courses that are assigned to yourself. Let's say today, if I get enrolled for a mandatory training, then I will get an email saying that, hi, hello Adarsh, you are assigned for a particular course. Kindly do this on or before 30th of August. So which means that's the deadline of 30th of August. So I will think, okay, I have 30 days, I will do it after a week. Then after 1 week, if you haven't touched the course, then again, you will get another email saying that, others, you haven't touched the module, kindly please do the training on or before 30th of August. Again, I will think, okay, I have 21 days left. Why I need to hurry? Again, if I wait for 1 more week, then again I will get another reminder email saying, others, you haven't completed the module, kindly do the training on or before 30th of August. But next thing is amazing. Like, again, if I'm not touching the module, the third email will be again the same, saying, others, you haven't touched the module, kindly do the training on or before 30th of August. But in CC, you can see that managers are CC'd. So which means you, at that time only, you will think, oh my God, I should have done this before. So one time only you will make the mistake, but from next time you will make sure you complete the training as soon as when you get the enrollment notification. Then next is lower cost. Since it's an online training, you only need a platform to access it and you only need the access credentials, which means you are cutting cost on classrooms, you are cutting cost on instructor, you are cutting cost on infrastructure, facilities, and all. I will give you with an example. When I was working in UAE, one famous company, which is oil and refinery company, initially they were actually doing classroom-based training for their employees. Let's say, since it's an oil refinery company, health and safety courses are very much important for their employees. So let's say there are 1,000 employees. So they divided 1,000 employees into 100 each, 10 batches. So in order to run one single course, one single HSC course, they need 10 days. So imagine if they want to run 10 health and safety courses, they need 100 days. So think about it. If they want to run 30 courses, means they need 300 days. It's almost 1 year. So instead of avoiding that, what they did is they hosted a platform, LMS. They purchased one learning management system, and then they hosted their health and safety courses, which is basically from Skillsoft library. They actually bought that, and they assign it to the relevant employees based on their job profiles. The result was amazing. They actually not only save millions of dollars, but also the employees become more productive because they have their own timelines for completing the online trainings. Not only that, as soon as you complete one online training, there will be exam associated with health and safety courses. If you complete that exam only, you will be passed for that module, which means it becomes more productive other than that of classroom based training. Next thing is content is updated. Content, which means, see, whenever there is an update in the content, if it is on online training, the only thing that you need to do is upload the revision of the new package. It will be easily accessible to all the employees who are enrolled for that module. Now we will talk about the weaknesses. Teacher is less accessible. We know that in the online training, you only have platform. You don't get actually exactly time, or you don't get time to interact with your teacher. Next is there are fewer opportunities for socializing. This is actually, I think this is important because we know that socializing is also an important factor, because if I'm in the classroom, on my right and left, I can see my friends, I can talk to them, and I can enjoy myself. Like I can have a good time with them while listening to the classroom. And it requires organization and willpower. So for running an online training, it's not like you can just simply host that training module and just simply distribute it to all the employees. It's not, it won't work that way. It works in such a way that if I am technical lead, I need to be enrolled for relevant courses which is associated to my job profile. It's not like, just do 100 courses and just finish it off. It's not like that. So you need to have a proper plan while having a platform ready for your company. Now we will go to strengths and weaknesses of classroom-based training. I will go with strengths. Students have closer relationship with their teachers. Yes, let's say, for example, when I was in first year, the teachers were like strangers to me. But after completing 4 years, it was like they were so close that we were not even like, we are not just talking about the curriculum or the courses. We were like talking about, okay, how to achieve or how to set up my goals in my life. It was so amazing because we need that relationship with the teachers. But here in online training, you don't get that chance to interact with your teachers. Next, an opportunity to socialize. As I said, we don't get it in classroom-based training. We will get the opportunity to socialize. Self-discipline as a virtue. In classroom-based training, we know that we are sitting in a physical classroom, and you will have your colleagues right and left, and the instructor is teaching you. And you cannot just, in online training, you can do whatever you want because you are in front of the system, and you don't want to be, you can be lazy, or you can do whatever you want. You can play a TV and you can do the training. It's not like that when it comes to classroom based training. You need to be disciplined yourself for doing the training. Weaknesses here is it's more expensive, yes, because you need an infrastructure, you need a classroom setup, you need a instructor, then the resources which is for particularly for that module. Then rigid timetables. Yes, if it is a classroom based training, we know that there's a timetable set up. If I am enrolled for a classroom training tomorrow, I need to attend that. Otherwise, I cannot skip that, or I cannot make my own flexible timing for classroom training. Then it takes time to update the content. So, and in online training, as I said, just a one click or uploading the revision where all the students get the new packages or the new module revision in their platform. But here it's not like that. If the content is updated and the classroom is already over, then the teachers actually need to do another classroom training for the same employees with the updated content. It will also take time. So now I will go with innovative ways how companies using e-learning. Connecting employees through an LMS. It is like, when you join a new company, you will, the only thing, when I joined, this is my experience, when I joined HCL Technologies, what I got is, I just got LMS platform. I just got access credential. That's the only thing that I got. And in the email, it says, go through the LMS, you will understand whatever you want to do. So I just logged in. And when I logged in, it says the clear path, what all things I need to do. First step was to complete certain mandatory courses, like 10 mandatory courses. I go through that mandatory courses. After that, it was in a sequential order. And after that, it says, okay, here is your manager, here is your manager's manager, here are your colleagues. And I was able to browse through my managers. I was able to see how long they've been working with the company. I saw my colleagues. I can even chat with them. I can also, I don't want to go to HR and ask for this information. Everything was available in the LMS itself. I got a clear idea about how the organization is, and how my colleagues are, and how long they've been working with the company. It was actually very, I think I felt like it is very effective, because instead of going and asking HR, okay, I just want to know how the organization works and all, instead of that, I have everything ready on my table. Next is making training effective with micro learning. We know that earlier, online module means like it was like 20 to 30 minutes, but now it is not like that. Micro learning concept has come, where module is divided into different parts, and each module have duration of 2 to 3 minutes. We know that we cannot actually focus for more than 45 minutes for anything except movies. For movies, we can actually continuously watch for 2 hours or 3 hours, 4 hours, but that is not the case with online training. When it comes to online training or classroom training, you won't focus actually. So that's why micro learning concept arises, where the modules are divided it into different small parts. It's like 1 to 2 minutes. It's like capsulated, where when you go through that each part, you will get a clear idea. It's like just 2 minutes means you will not easily forget that things. Next is using gamification to create a clear path. We know that, as I said before, when you log into the portal, you can see a learning path which has different branches in it, where it will be arranged in such a way that you have online modules, you have classroom session, you have assessment, assignments, exams. You will get a clear idea about how it is and how you need to follow, which means when you click on classroom session, if you try to jump to classroom session before completing module, it won't allow you to complete. It says first complete the modules, then go to the classroom session. In such a way, it's aligned in such a way that you will get a clear idea about what to do. Next thing is adapting with skills assessments. We know that the system is capable of checking your skills. Based on your skills and based on your job profile, the system will automatically assign few relevant learning elements to your job profile. And based on that, you need to keep your skills updated every time. Then only you will be competent with your job profile, and you can work with the company. Otherwise, what will happen is, otherwise after a year, company can easily say you are not eligible for this job, you can go. That is how the companies are now. Now I will go with the current e-learning trends. First is from static courses in the LMS to integrated result-oriented learning and development environment. We know that earlier a course means just a module to be run in the system, but nowadays it's not like that. It is like a program which has several sub modules associated with it. Let's say, for example, let's say Six Sigma. In order to get a Six Sigma green belt, it's not like if you complete one module you will get that belt. You have a set of modules you need to complete. So if I want to get that belt, it is like I need to go through several modules. Second is LMS of future, from online portal to performance ecosystem. As I said, nowadays the LMS platform is not just for running the courses. It is like it is actually kept on monitoring your performance. You can perform yourself and you can be a top performer in the company itself, because it is not like you get 10 modules and complete it and you can close the LMS. It's not like that. You will actually get a chance, or you can actually explore, and there will be huge content library available within the LMS itself, where you can go, you can browse, you can access, you can learn, you can assign it to yourself, and you can finish it off. Where, let's say, if I complete 100 relevant modules or relevant online trainings which is associated with my profile, which means I'm very much competent with my role, and even the LMS will recognize that, and the LMS itself will put me at the top level when it comes to employees. So when they take all over the world, if they take my position with others in the same company, they will say, yes, Adarsh is more capable of doing things than other employees, because I have gone through this certification, I have gone through exams, assessments, assignments. So that is how now the trend is. Next is captivating content to provide immersive learning experience, such like virtual reality, augmented reality, chatbots. Now we will go to the next slide, which is how IT in future. We all know that IT is one of the most dynamic industries in this world. The jobs that exist today didn't exist 20 years back. We all know that. This virtual reality or artificial intelligence or augmented reality recently launched. Let's say I will go with artificial intelligence and smart machines. If you check 10 years back, with an example, I will tell you with an example. Think about Google Maps. 10 years back, it was, let's say, if I want to go from Netherlands to Germany, it will only say the distance. It will only say the route and the distance. But now it is not like that. Now, if you check the Google Map, if I type from Netherlands to Germany, if I'm driving, it will say my speed of my car. It will actually calculate best route possible. It will calculate the traffic. It will check the weather condition. It will sense us, okay, what time you will reach, and that will be the exact precise data that is giving based on the artificial intelligence. Then when it comes to smart machines, I can give you an example. Like earlier we were using vacuum cleaner for cleaning our house, but now we have smart robots which is available. The only thing that you need to do is just place that smart robot in your floor. What it does is it calculates your area, it calculates the obstacles, it calculates the distances in your room, and what it does is it will only go and fetch the dust when you if you throw some dust on the floor. It will calculate the shortest distance between the dust, and it will go and fetch that and clean that and go to the docking station for charging. how cool it is. Now, when talking about virtual reality, it is actually changing businesses around the world. Uh, Virtual reality is something which is actually simulation of the real world. Applications involves like even this virtual reality is used in militaries for their training purposes. And then if you see, Samsung has launched VR glasses where you can play games and all. Then it comes to augmented reality. Augmented reality is actually a modified version of virtual reality, because in augmented reality, it actually show you the real world, and then you can see a virtual setup within the real world. I will give you one best example. We all know that a Rolex watch company, they recently introduced one virtual reality application and a device. So instead of, see, if you go to a watch shop, what we do is we just ask them to take 4 or 5 watches, and we ask them to, okay, I just want to try it. Instead of that, what this Rolex watch did is, like, they have a device which is placed in a 60-degree angle, where you can place your hand like this, and you can select the watches that you want to try. So when you select that watches, it will actually wear it in your hand, and it will show how it looks like in my hand. So finally, I can decide, okay, which watch I want to select, and then at last stage, you can go and ask for that watch for a final try. It's not like you can go and you can take all the watches and you can wear. So they save, actually, you know that how costly it is. So in that way, they actually bought a new concept. Another example is like IKEA, which is a famous household items shop. They also launched a augmented reality application. So how it works is, if I want to fill furnitures in my room, so what you need to do is, you just open the app, scan your room completely, and then you can select the furniture. Let's say, for example, I want sofa, I want one bed, I want one cupboard. So what it does is, I can just scan the room, I can place each furniture in my room, and the only thing that I need to do is just look at look at the screen. I can see all the furnitures aligned in my room. So based on that, you get a clear idea about, okay, based on the size and all, you will get clear idea how spacious it is when I put this sofa, or how spacious it is when I put my bed. So that is also a cool application which is launched by IKEA. Next is blockchain. We know that blockchain, I can explain it with the cryptocurrency like Bitcoin for a secure transaction. We know that from the blockchain itself, it is clear that it's a chain of block. Block means your information, chain means the database. And when I talk about Bitcoins, it's a cryptocurrency which is used for secure transaction of huge amount of money. Like, we know that in banking transactions and all, it's limited. You can only transfer a small amount of money, like 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs, I guess. But using this kind of technology, you can transfer huge amount of money, and it is highly secure, and the data is encrypted as well. Next is Internet of Things. Here, the devices nowadays, even the lights are smart. We know that if you say, Alexa, turn on my light, it will turn on. Or there are like Google assistants, which if we ask them to turn off my light, or turn on my fridge, or turn on my AC, or open my door, everything is possible because of Internet of Things. Even this is nowadays, it is implemented in cars, machineries, in companies like automation and all. Like, let's say, best example is Tesla. It is completely automated, where even autopilot is also available. You can just put the destination, and you can just sleep. The car will take you to your place. That's how the world is now with IT. And Last and finally, I would like to say one famous quote: necessity is the mother of invention. So when the need for something becomes essential, you are forced to find a ways of getting or achieving it. You may be a school student or a college student or a fresh graduate. So what I wanted to say is, whatever you are trying or whatever you are doing, do it with your full heart, and maybe you will get a lot of experience, but experience is always the best teacher. And do it with your full heart, and one day you will succeed. That is what I need to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Adarsh. So that was a session on learning management system and its benefits. So the session was a simple presentation, and yet it covered almost all the dimensions of learning management systems. And now it is open to participants. If you have any queries, please ask in the chat, or you can directly ask. Adarsh, heard
Yes,
that you're working on learning management system in your company. Can you
yes.
put some light on that?
So basically, in my previous company, New Horizons, I was working with different learning management platforms like Upside LMS, Net Dimensions, Skillpot. So I have gone through. See, I have gone through. I actually worked with 10 clients, and each client was using different platform based on their requirements. So even one company, I cannot mention the name because of NDA, but I would say one famous school all over the world, they were using one platform just to host one mandatory training. Like it was like 32,000 employees. They only use that platform just to run code of conduct training. It was like effective because see, we know that nowadays we cannot if the company has a huge amount of employees, you cannot do a classroom setup training because that will take ages for doing that trainings. But instead, if it's an online platform, within a month you can cover up all their employees with relevant information or relevant trainings. So that is one thing. As I said before, one oil and refinery company, they save millions of dollars just by moving from classroom based training to online training. So and they the only thing that they did was they bought one LMS, and they hosted all their health and safety courses in that. By that, they not only save money, they also so the employees productivity within the company itself, because it's not just save the money, but we know that in classroom training, we maybe we are not in a good mood to listen to that classroom, and we can miss so many things. But in this case, if you are not confident with your content, you can revise it like n number of times whenever it is required. And at the last, there will be exam, which is random question which is generated by the system itself based on the current module, and you will only pass if you go through the exam, I mean if you go through the complete module. So it is like more productive, and it makes more sense when it comes to a company.
Uh, See, from job perspective, let me ask you a question. So, if for a job designation in a company which is managing learning management system,
Okay.
what are the skills required for such a job seeker who
Okay.
wishes to join learning management system development?
It is not like it is for skills that required for learning management system means it depends on what learning management system you are using. Let's say if it is Net Dimensions as a platform, you need to know programming languages as well, because Net Dimensions involves on-premise. it gives on-premise solution as well as cloud-based solution. In order to install Net Dimensions application within a company, you need to know about databases, you need to know about web applications like Apache Tomcat, you need to be aware about how SQL queries works, or how to install a database, or how to make connectivity within the application and the database. So it depends on LMS. So, but if I'm talking about Upside LMS, which is a SaaS solution, you don't need this kind of experience. You only need administrative skills like how to handle the system. Within 1 month, you will get a complete training on how to uh, you know uh, get trained in that particular platform. But there are very like complex LMSs where you need, now I'm working with a complex LMS which has a database associated with it, because in order just to fetch a report, I need to do SQL coding. Then, or if then I'm also working with APIs where connecting one LMS platform with a micro website which is sending reports and data or transcripts from one LMS system to the other system. So it depends on how you are choosing. There are simple LMS which is hosted in the cloud where you only need administrative skills and you can get training uh, based after getting the job. We will get the training. Only thing that they check is whether you are capable of whether you can give a clear support for the clients. That's the only thing that they will check.
As a course instructor, if I want to check whether my students have watched a particular video link that I have shared, whether
Okay.
he or she has fully viewed that particular video. Is there any option in any learning management systems?
Yes, it is. It is. It's actually a nice question. There are. It also depends on the LMS. Let's say some LMS actually gives full transcript of what you are doing, even from the moment you log in until you log out. So if I'm clicking on that link, it will actually say whether you are navigating through the link, how many time you spent in each slide, how many time you clicked on the links within the course itself, or whether you are productive. It senses what you are doing exactly. It depends on the content itself. You can say if it's a SCORM content, it will only track your completion, like enrolled, in progress, or completed. But if it is a SCORM 2004 package, or if it's an AICC compliance courses, which actually tracks your it will actually tracks your transcript within the course itself, like what I said. It will track links, it will track how many times you clicked on the links, how many time you spent each slide. It will track like that way.
Okay. I think no more questions from participants' side. So I have shared the feedback form. You can fill the feedback form to get your e-certificate. It will be auto-generated. Thank you once again. Thank you, Adarsh, for sharing your experience and sharing information about learning management system and its benefits. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you, participants, for your patient listening, and thanks for viewing.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mithuna Miss. Thank you, everyone, for listening to my explanation. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.